LightStreet's Glenn Kacher. You guys investors in this? Any interest in it?
In Reddit?
Yeah.
We're not direct investors in it, no, but certainly interested in the space and the internet category. I think Reddit is playing a role in AI as one of those content libraries that's been used to train these large language models.
I used the words, earlier, speaking of AI and the kinds of things that Jensen Huang at Nvidia is talking about as sort of this dawn of a new industrial revolution. It sounds like you very much buy into that story, too, in the way you see the runway expanding for a lot of the companies that have a big part to play.
For sure. And then we're seeing, cash from operations and earnings surprising by 10%. We're seeing, that continuing for many years to come. And we're seeing a stock that is, probably going to be close to a double over the next year and a half or 2 years.
Big weightings you have also in the likes of AMD and Taiwan Semi, Amazon, Salesforce, Broadcom, Microsoft, Meta, GitLab. For the other semi stocks that let's just take an AMD, a Taiwan Semi, Broadcom, for example. How do you view those relative to Nvidia and the competitive landscape that's only going to get hotter?
Well, there certainly will be competition. And the first company I think that's going to have a real competitive chip will be AMD. But I think it's going to take quite a period of time for any other companies to really challenge Nvidia and then AMD. Over time, I think we'll see AI splinter. There will be different types of jobs and different types of processes and smaller models. And as that happens, there'll be more opportunity for kind of lower power chips, for instance, and custom ASICs to eat into the overall market. But at the same time, the GPU is so powerful. It's kind of like an earth mover and or an SUV that can do 10 different jobs really well, and be very powerful at the same time. And that's really hard for some of these other smaller companies to compete with. So we still love, Nvidia from here, and AMD is, next up in that group. Last time I was on, I talked about kind of our AI 5, the stocks that we are most focused on. Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft, Broadcom, the old ticker, Avago ticker, and then TSMC. And those are still the companies that we think are first up in really benefiting from this build out of infrastructure. So that's where we're concentrating our exposure.
I understand. What else is exciting? I mean, AI sucked all the air out of the room. You guys are doing enough bottoms-up work on a lot of other companies. What else is exciting to you outside of AI, or is literally that everything?
I think AI underlies almost every stock that we're involved in one way or another. It's that dramatic of a development in terms of the way computing is done. So it's going to influence everything. I think that it's a question of time frame. And, it's hardest to predict how it's going to benefit software companies. I think the next big moves, though, will be those hyperscaler companies that today are part of the Magnificent Seven. And if you think about it, if you look at the other names in the Magnificent Seven, which are Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, Meta, Tesla, Google, 6 out of 7 of those, everyone except for Nvidia, is a massive customer of Nvidia. They're all putting tons of capital into buying Nvidia chips and building out AI infrastructure. So right now that's costing them a lot of money, which I think is part of the reason why they may underperform Nvidia. But ultimately that also means that they're going to be delivering value on top of that capital that's being deployed over the next really decade, but big build out early on.